This spreadsheet gives you a clear update on your stocks or ETF. The data is updated live, so you will have the latest up-to-date status of your portfolio. You can also select 3 ETF that will give you an idea of where the overall market trends stand. The market trend summary will be on top of the screen, including a chart of your main choice of ETF, SPY in this case. For each ETF, the daily change and the latest data is being shown. By default, I am selecting SPY, XLK and JUNK. You can of course change all this. The spreadsheet is not that difficult to build and is a good exercise to improve your Excel skills while monitoring your financial assets. So let's get started, as they say on YouTube.
Welcome to this tutorial. Let's have a look at the overall structure of this spreadsheet here, of this dashboard. So that's something that you can prepare now if you want to build this with me. Now we have one spare column on the left, and then we have 3 groups of cells here. So the first one here, what we do is we merge the 2 cells at the top, then we merge those 2 cells and we have this row wider than the others, and then we have a group of 4 cells here. So that should take you 2 rows, and then you repeat this twice. So then you have 3 groups. If you don't know how to merge, you just go here, home, and you merge and center. So that will allow us to have 2 sets of data, one that will fit on 1 cell and one that will fit on 2 cells. So you leave a couple of blank cells here to give it a bit of space. And after we have a table. So if you could create this table now, that will be great. So this column here will be hidden. So you might want to add another column here so that it's done. This is where we'll be retrieving the data. And then we have a column for symbol. That will be the symbol of the stock, number of units that you have, the price that you have bought them. And then we will calculate the total, the price now, the total now, and if you have a gain or a loss, and then the last value. So that's the last value will be an arrow up or down. How many do you want to put? It's up to you here. There's no limit. And you can add more rows if you want more. Here we will have the total, and the total now, the profit and loss. Here we will be inputting ETFs. That will be just for the trend. I think I'm using the SPY, the tech, and one bond, I think. So, but here you'll be able to put whatever you want. But if you want to use the ETF I've selected, you're obviously more than welcome to. So that's it for the overall structure. Now I've created also 2 other tabs. One tab where we'll be retrieving the data. That will be to put a chart here. We will be putting a chart maybe here actually. Finally, we'll create another tab, so that will be to retrieve some data for the chart. The first thing that we need to do is to retrieve the stock value, so you can input the price now. So if you don't have Excel 365, you won't be able to do this. So you will have to input them manually. So you can still use it as a dashboard. But I will assume that you have Excel 365, or at least access to this function. So you input a stock, let's say KO, it should be Coca-Cola. And you go under data, and then you click on the stock here. So Microsoft will do its work, will go and retrieve the stock for this. But in this instance, he sees several ones, so he's asking me to confirm. And I want this one, the Coca-Cola company, and then I will select it. And once this is selected, then I can do some operations with it. I can retrieve the symbol, obviously, because I don't want to have all this. I just want to have the symbol, for instance. And I will show you how it works. Let's get started then. So I have this here, so I'm just going to put that bigger so it's clearer. A way to retrieve the symbol is just click on the stock itself, and then it gives you some options here. It gives you what do you want, and you will put it in the next field, which is great in the first instance here, because I already have I have the field next that I want to fill in, but it won't always work, obviously, when I have some of my own fields in between. But for the first one, yes, we want the symbol. So let's have a look. Where can we retrieve the symbol? Here, ticker symbol here. And he's retrieved it. So this is fields that you'll be entering yourself. So this is for you. But for this, I want to retrieve also directly from the database here. So I just put equal. I just click on the symbol here, not on the symbol, but on the data here, and then it gives me back all this. So what I wanted to have is a price now, last trade time. I'm just going to take price. Extend it. I'm just going to take price, press enter, and he's already retrieved it. So that's quite good. So the units, so that will be the units that you want to buy. So let's say you have bought 100 units, and obviously here, at what price did you buy them? Say you bought them at the time at $100. Now that cost you 100 times 100. The total was $10,000. And the total now is the amount of units that you have times the price now. And that's the price that you have now. So just need to make sure I have the same. I'm just going to use the format painter to use the same thing here. I want to retrieve the number of decimals here. So what do we have? Profit or loss? We have the total now less the price we bought them. So here we're not in luck. We are down. And here I'm just going to add an arrow here, up or down. That will just tell me if I'm ahead or not, more or less if it's negative. Okay, so this is done. Now I want to fine-tune things a little bit, because if I bring that down, it's not going to be really happy because there's nothing here. So I want to be a bit smarter here. And I want to say, I want to give a condition. If the cell here, this cell here is not blank, I'm going to do this. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave blank here. This way, when I bring that down, it's all blank here. And the same for the price now, which is the one I retrieved. I just want to do the same thing. If this is not blank, I want to put it there. Otherwise, I just want to put blank. Okay, and I want to bring that down. So that's it. So I put more data, so I can drag all that all the way down. Okay. So for these two, I could do the same condition if I'm fussy. You know, if this field here is non-blank, I put that. Otherwise, I put nothing. And same here. Okay, so we have this table here. So the total here, that's very easy. I can just do the auto sum here. Here I do the same, so I can just copy this field. And here I do the same, so I can just copy this field. Now, here for the last, I just wanted to have something a little bit different. I wanted to put, if this number is negative, I want to put an arrow down. I think I like the visual of it. Whether or not it's really useful, it's up to you to decide. But what I want to do is something very simple. So here, for instance, what I've done here, I want to say if this field is negative, then I put this strange character here. And if it's positive, then I put the strange character here. So it's an E with an accent. And then I will add it on the 𝗥𝗲𝘀 font. So here, I'm just going to put 0 here. So let me go back here. I'm just going to put 0 instead of blank. This will be easier for me to hide the arrows. And then I can do, if I do this, it should bring me the arrows. Okay, so at the bottom here, I just want to put 3 ETF that would be representative of the market. So it's not an advice, obviously, but I use SPY, and I use XLK, which is a tech ETF. Here I will be using one bond. I use the junk bond. I mean, refer to your manuals. So it's just one of the bonds. It's not always the one that is recommended, but I'm just going to use it to give me a feel of this type of bond, how it performs. So here I'm going to do the same trick. I'm just going to put it as stocks. Okay, and Here I'm just going to select the bond. Here I'm going to select the ticker symbol. It's going to put it here, ticker symbol here. So I just can, if I drag that down, that should work. And what else do I want to retrieve? Here maybe I'm going to retrieve the change percentage. Change percentage. And I'm going to retrieve the price. So see when the fields are just one after the other, I just click on this and I select what I want. So here the price. And here I'm just going to select the previous clause. That will give me more flexibility on what I want to do. So here previous clause. And here I'm going to select the name. So strange choice, you might think, but I found this a bit too long. So, and I want to show it above. So I'm going to select the name and I could merge those cells. Press home, merge and center. Okay, so now what I can do, hopefully, is drag that down. I don't know how it's going to work with the merge cells, but we'll soon find out. Okay, it's doing it, so that's good. And I'm going to do that here, put that here. Okay, so all this is done. Now there's something that I want to do. I want to change the background and everything. So I want to use the dark mode here. So in order to do this, there's several ways, but I'm just going to show you one way. What I want to do is to modify, go in the style, modify the style, and I'm just going to go on format. And here first I'm going to the font because I often forget to do this. It's a 𝗥𝗲𝘀. I'm using the 𝗥𝗲𝘀 here. Obviously, you don't have to do it, but that's the one I like for these types of display. I'm going to select the color of 0. I've got the color of white. The overall fill, I want a very dark blue, so I think this one will work. Let's try it. Now, actually, what I'm noticing is I'm using the new page layout theme from Microsoft, but I want to use the old one because I'm used to my colors there. So that's all a bit of a mess now. So I just need to go back to normal here, modify, format, and here I can use the one that I want. I want to use this one. Okay, so now we can see that there are some formatting that needs to be done. First thing to do is to put the borders in white, more border in white. So I select white here, I do click outline and inside. Here I can select this and press F4, should work, F4 should work, and F4 here. What about here? F4. So here I want to actually choose a different color for this. I wanted to use a different type of blue. I want to take this one and I want to take the third one here. Take this one here. So he hasn't. So here I just need to go back and select everything to make sure that he applies this one. Okay. Here I want to put a different color for the fields that I actually need to input. So as a reminder, so I'm just going to put this in this, this is in a different color, this in that color, for instance. So this is just to remind me, this is the only field that you can do, obviously with these ones. Also you can touch if you want. So, okay. So this is the one that you can touch. Just put them in a different color. So we have some conditional formatting to do, but before we do the conditional formatting, as I speak, I'm just doing a little bit of tidying up here. I want this one a little bit bigger. I want this one on 14 maybe. Okay, so we need to put that. I'm starting the fine-tuning here. What we want to do here is, okay, we have merged this, and I want to bring back the name here that I had here. So we know here the same, the second one, here the third one here. So that's _𝗥, so just to say that. So, and here I just want to, here on the big board, I just want to give the latest. I want to give the latest here. So that doesn't look that great yet, but bear with me. Hopefully we can improve on that. And the last close, I want to put this one here that we had as the last close. And today it should be this one. So remember, here we had the price, and here we had the previous price. So everything should be in here. So here they're the same. Last close, this one. No, this one. Today, this one. Last close. This one. I have to think about it. Today, this one. So we practically have it all. We need to do some formatting at some stage. So I need to do some conditional formatting. And here, obviously, I need to put back the Wingding font because I've applied everything. Wingdings. Now, the conditional formatting, what do I want to condition? So I want just to highlight the fields that are positive and the ones that are negative. For instance, here, I want this field to be bright green if it's all good, and I want it to be red, the red of shame if it goes down. So, but before I do that, I just want to put it big so we can have a better idea. I put it big and in bold. Okay, so I just do a conditional formatting here. I create a new rule. So for the cells that contain, I say just going to say greater than or equal to 0. I want to format it as a very bright green. I think we all agree that's very bright. I need to make sure the font follows suit. The font, okay, should be in white as well. So here we cannot do it. So here, as it's negative, we cannot really test it, but trust me. And by default here, I can just put a default value of red, because if it's not red, it's green. So I just don't have to create another rule. I'm just going to go here and I'm just take a paler red. Okay, so if I format paint this, I double click on it and I paint it here and I paint it here. So here it works. Notice that there is a 0.02% here and it's in green. That was our value that was positive. So that is good. Now I want to do the same with P and L here, profit and loss. And looks like I've already applied it on the arrow, so I can show you what I've done. So here I can do some conditional formatting here. I'm just going to do the same thing. New rule, cell that contain, and I'm going to say that greater than or equal to. Now here I'm just going to put a greater than, because there are some fields that are equal to 0. So if I say greater to or equal, so they're all going to be showing green, and we are not that happy about that, about what we don't have. We have white. Okay, so that works. Now I need to go back, manage rules, and I need to duplicate it. And here, same, less than 0, we format, and we feel we should have, no, we don't have the red showing here. So we go to more colors, and I take a paler red from that. Here. So this is done. So now for this, looks like I've done it without, looks like it's done already, but the conditional formatting for this will be the same. But the difference is that we use the the font. We don't use the field, we use the font, because this is a font. This is the font that we want to change. Okay, if it's greater than 0, I put green. So that is good. Now I'm going to do some formatting here before we go into the charts. So here I will just put that a bit smaller. I want to put that a font of 10. I'm just going to format paint here. Format paint here. Actually, here I want to put 2 types of blue. I want to put a different blue. So here I want to put the same blue that I had, the blue from the standard color here. Press F4, press F4. So that looks okay. I think I need to center this. Now for this, I want to select yet again a different type of blue. But before I do, this one, I like this blue, so I'm just going to put the same blue here. Oops. Same blue here. Yeah. And what else? This one. For this one, I'm going to select the blue from here. Oops. I'm going to take the second one from the left. F4, F4. Okay, now I would like to add some borders, and I think these ones I would like to put them a bit bigger. They all need to be the same length, the same size. I want to put some thick border here. So first of all, I want to put that thick border around it all. So more borders, color white, and the problem is it just disappears. So I need to select the thickness first, then white, and then I'm going to put it across here, see how it works. Okay, now I press F4 on this, so it's going to do the same one just for that part here. And I'll just select the 4 here, and I'm going to press F4 again. So it is putting them here as well. So now I can select everything, format paint, format paint. This is already looking okay. So what I wanted to do also is to format paint this and put it here. And I want to increase it back up. 14 was selected. And here I could put a change. Divide this by what I had to start with, how much money I made, and here you go. So this is 59%. I wonder what would happen if I just format paint here, it here. Oh, don't do it. So here I just need to do a bit of format painting. I could just copy the format paint here, and then I would just need to put it back to percentage. I believe that should work. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to be more precise, you can add some decimals. I'm not extremely happy with this red. I think I could put this red a little bit stronger, so it stays in line. Actually, that's a direct red that we have used, right? More colors. And I want to put something. And I go to custom here, and I want to put it a little bit more red. If that makes sense. And after format paint here, and I format paint here. So now we need to do, as a final touch, we want to give an idea of what the spider has been doing, or what your first selection here has been doing, because I said you could choose whatever you like, but the SPY is a good indication usually. So I was mentioning at the start, you can either put the chart here or you can put it here. So if you want to hide this, you click on the column, you put data group, and then you can hide it. So this way you have a different different looking type of dashboard. But if you're happy to keep this, then you can keep it. I have the feeling I would rather have this type of color. If you want to keep it, I think we understand that this can be changed. I'm just going to put that here. Okay, so I need to create two tabs. The first tab will be called the settings tab. for the chart. So I will put a start date here. For the chart, I will put an end date. And here I will put the type of chart. Type of chart I will put 0, so that means for days. It will make sense when we review the formula. The start date, I want to have 1 year. So if I put today as the end date, so here I deduct the today's date, I deduct 365 days from it. So that will give me where we were at last year. And this is the data that we'll be using to create our chart. So first of all, we go here. Here, I want to retrieve the first ETF that we had here. So that will be this one here. So I'm just going to put SPY here, for instance. So I'm going to retrieve SPY. And here I will have the date and I will have the close. So the way I'm just going to use the stock history function here. So here I'm just going to put stock history. So here I put the stock and I select this. The start date, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to select the start date here. The end date is set optional. I wonder what would happen if I don't put it, but I'm just going to try, not going to try it now. I'm just going to put it here. And then the interval, as you've seen, 0 daily, 1 weekly, 2 monthly. And I want to put it daily because I want to use a sparkline and it will look nice. So when I press enter here, it tells me that it's busy and is retrieving all this. So if you want to have a better look here, I could put it in a different color here. It's actually worse. So thank you, Ben. I'm just going to undo this. So here I have the data. I managed to create the data here. So what I just need to do is to create a chart based on this. So first of all, I'm just going to select where I want to put this chart. I want to give it a bit more room. I want to merge those 3 cells here. So merge and center. I want to merge it here. And I want to insert a sparkline here where it's a sparkline and the sparklines. I want to create a line. I'm going to take a line. The data range, I'm going to go here and I'm going to select this. But here I'm going to select some rubbish at the end. So that's going to be to give it some room. Where do I want to put this? I want to put this in here, so it's got it. Okay, so it doesn't like because the cells are merged. So, and when I select here, it looks like I want to spread the sparkline on 3 cells. It doesn't like it, so we need to trick it and say, no, I just want the first one. And it puts it there. So as you can see, it's not very obvious. So we need to go to under the sparkline tab here and just change the color. And here you could put maybe the type of yellow. So if you're not happy with the thickness, you can play here. You can put it a bit thicker here. You can change. You can put it the columns if you prefer. That might be what you prefer best. See, the empty that I have towards the end, that's because I selected more than was on the chart. This way, I think, otherwise it would stick to this and that wouldn't look that good, I think. But here, this is a choice. So what I was suggesting you could do is you can move it here, for instance. You move it here, you increase this, and then you hide that. So that's a little bit more compact. So maybe here you can give it more room. Here you can give it more room. And that's another way to look at it. I think that actually could be better, less overwhelming. And here you go. The advantage of here is that if you don't want to see those pair things, you do the data group trick, data group, and then you remove it. It's done. So it's a bit more intimate. And here you can change. You don't want to see this, the junk. Say, let's say you want to put TLT for a change. So you put TLT, and that's it. Now I didn't select the TLT I wanted, but it doesn't matter. That gives you an idea of the thing that you can do. I think this is the wrap. Now we can do fine-tuning until the cows come home. But thanks for being with me on this, and I hope you get something out of it. I'll see you in my next demo.